Hey y'all, I'm Crystal, I'm your instructor, and I wanted to give you some information before you get started this week on your Mind Tap um, readings and scenarios and case studies and quizzes. I just wanted to give you some information that I feel like may help you navigate through this stuff a little bit smoother. So, um, the week of the 16th through the 24th, all you had to do is get registered for MindTap and introduce yourself to the class. And then this week, August 25th through 31st, is when we really get into the meat of our class. So the first thing you'll do is click here on the chapter 1, and when it comes up, you will see that it has all the things that you're going to need in the chapter. So it has the learning objectives and standards. I recommend you go through that and look at those and read them. And then as sort of an introduction before you start reading the chapter, I have a video case study. So let's look at that. And for these video case studies, usually this video is around 5 minutes, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. And then it has some several questions, things for you to think about and just comment on. And for the most part, these case studies are, I will give you a participation grade. So I just want to know what you think. I want you to spell check. I want you to write in complete sentences, but just give me some of your thoughts and after watching the video. And I really enjoy reading these and watching you evolve as an educator. The only reason that I would really take points off is if you don't address all the questions. If you just write like a sentence and I can sort of tell you didn't watch the video, that's why I would take off points. But for the most part, the case studies are just an interesting way for you to get in there and see what some other teachers are doing and get some ideas and really stretch your thinking. So those are the case studies. And then you have your chapter reading, and I strongly encourage you to read the chapters. You are already enrolled in the class and you've paid one way or the other, and so why not learn all that you can from this? The reading is interesting and it will absolutely apply to your career choice. And the quizzes that you're going to have comes directly from this chapter reading. So my advice is read the chapters. Now, okay, for your quizzes, let's click on those and let me just show you something. This is what it'll look like, and this will be your first and only or final take of this assignment. This take starts when you click the start button and ends when you submit. You won't be able to take it again. If your computer loses connection, you'll be able to resume taking it. But here's what I want to show you. So let's say, what do teachers say is their prime motivation for selecting teaching as a career? Let's just say that you just choose one of these that they're interested in the subject matter. Okay, down here, there's a little guy called Check My Work. You can check that, and it'll give you a little hint, and it'll say, oh, that was incorrect. And it'll sort of give you some kind of little hint explaining your motives for teaching. That's kind of where you'll find it in the book. And you have 2 of these little check my work features. Now, some of these answers in these quizzes have more than one correct answer. And so this is a little hint giver or a little cheater guy. And it is my point to giving these quizzes that you learn the material, not so that you will just come out of this class an excellent quiz taker. So that's why I give you these little check my work. So you'll get a better grade having that, hopefully. Okay, and last thing is the scenarios. And let's go in here and look at that and talk about that for a second. while that's going up, let me tell you that I really hate having to go back in and reopen assignments. Um, so you need to communicate with me if you think that you're not going to be able to submit an assignment on time. Um, I understand that we all have lives and families and that things come up, but I also understand that you guys are college students and that you are in college to become an educator. And so you need to be responsible enough to work ahead if you know something's coming up. So say, for example, you know 3 weeks from now you're going to be moving into a new apartment. Um, Work ahead and get that week's assignments done so that you don't have to worry about it when you move. Things like that that you can plan for. You can do that because every week is already open, so you can work ahead as much as you want, but just make sure that you pay attention to those due dates because the assignments and quizzes will close at 11:59 on that due date. Um, so let's look at these scenarios. This is something that I grade and that I grade more with purpose, and I do. This is not a participation grade. This is a grade that I grade on how well you do on the assignments. So when you go in here, it'll have the objective. You're going to create an email that offers advice on the choice of teaching as a career and evaluate your email. And then so here it's going to give you your scenario. So the scenario is, you can read that. Then on all of these scenarios, you come down and it gives a description of exactly what you're to do. It's got very clear and specific description of what to do, so you don't have to guess. For example, it says select 5 points of information. So do I want to be able to count your 5 points? Yes. And to be sure that 1 point includes information about the use of real encounters, and to talk about intrinsic and extrinsic, I will go through and make sure that you have covered all the bases on here. Then number 2 is be sure to read the self-evaluation section to guide your thinking and write your self-evaluation after you've completed your email. As far as being a teacher goes and being in the education field, you will need to do a lot of self-evaluation. So you'll be thinking, how did that lesson go? Was there something that I could have done better? Did the kids understand? Did I handle that situation as good as possible? How was my classroom management? And you'll just be constantly thinking of ways to improve and also reasons behind why you did what you did. So we're going to start practicing that now so that you'll have a good habit starting out. Down here is some more descriptions for your email. So you'll never be confused about what to do. It has really specific instructions. The other thing I wanted to show you is that you can look at the rubric that I will use to grade you. So over here will be the criteria, and over here will be the rating scales that I'll use. So you can sort of practice being a teacher and maybe practice grading yourself. One thing that kind of gets on my nerves is when you turn in stuff that has a lot of spelling or grammar mistakes, because I feel like we're on the way to becoming educators ourselves, and there is spell check. And there is proofreading. You can proofread it yourself, or if you know that you tend to have more grammar mistakes and spelling mistakes, you need to find somebody to proofread your work for you. It gets on my nerves to get submissions turned in with tons of grammar, and you don't capitalize or you don't use a period at the end of your sentences. That kind of stuff shouldn't be happening now. So let's work on that. We should be turning in work indicative of a future educator, and so those are my expectations. And just real quick, if you'll notice right here is the due dates. So August 31st is the due date for this, and I expect you to have everything turned in. If you have any questions, don't wait till the night before, because sometimes I go to bed early, or sometimes I don't have my phone out or my computer and I may not see it. So if you wait until the very last minute to do your work and then you have questions and I'm not available to answer them right away, you may have a problem. So like I said, all the assignments are now open. So if you go on to chapter 2, they're open, but here's your due date. So I am looking forward to this semester. I actually really enjoy reading your assignments and watching your thinking grow and change. And I really enjoy teaching teachers because I think that the kids are the most important thing. And if you guys are really well prepared and I do a good job teaching you, then the kids will benefit from that. So I look forward to it, and any questions that I didn't cover or any problems that come up, just send me a Moodle message or an email, okay? All right, have fun.